Namo Buddhaya. So this afternoon we will cover the Mettānisaṃsa Suttas. Right? Mettānisaṃsa is Mettānisaṃsa Suttas. Is a discourse on advantages, right, of loving kindness. Okay, so before we start, let us recite the Mettānisaṃsa Suttas. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Evaṃ me suttaṃ ekaṃ samayaṃ bhagavā Savatiya viharati jetavane anatapi dekasa arame tatrako bhagava bhikkhū amante sibi kavoti badante tite bhikkhū bhagavato Pachaso som bhagava etadavocha metaya bhikkhave ceto vimuttiya asevitaya bhavitaya bahulikataya yanikataya vatukataya Anotitaya Parichitaya Susamaradhaya Ekadasanisam Sapatikankam Katame Ekadasa Sukang Supati Sukang Patibhujati Na papaka supina pasati manosana piyohoti amanosana piyohoti devatara kandinasa agiva visangva satangva kamati Tuatang citta samadhiyati Mokavano vipasidati Asamulho kalang karoti Uttaring apativijanto Brahmaloku pagohoti Metaya bhikkhave ceto vimuttiya asevitaya bhavitaya bahulikataya yanikataya vatukataya anotitaya parichitaya susamaradhaya Ime ekadasa nisamsa patikankati idamavocha bhagava atmanatebi ko bhagavato vasitang abhinandonti sadhu sadhu sadhu. Okay, Namo Buddhaya. Okay, so now let us look at the start of the suttas. Usually, in all the suttas, we start with Evaṃ me suttaṃ, right? So this Evaṃ me suttaṃ is very important. for us, because if you want to know the Pali, if you don't know even how to explain the Evame Sutta, it means that you knew nothing, right? So, and of course, some people, they said, oh, Bhante, you have typed it wrongly. It's not S-U-T-A, it's a S-U-T-T-A. That is also wrong, right? So anyway, yeah, we look at this Sutta, right? Here the Sutta is S-U-T-A, one T, right? Sutta. So this Sutta is impersonal, right? And it's a neuter, usually impersonal is a neuter gender, nominative, singular, right? And of course, it's a past participle. And it has root, shru, mean to hear, past participle mean heard. So you can translate, it has been heard, right? It has been heard. So this one, carry the sense of impersonal, or has been heard, or was heard, this kind of meaning. And the may here is personal pronouns, right? And it's from ahang, right? Ahang is I, so may, you take it as instrumental, mean by me. And of course, it has another, the grammar is in the genitive, right? It's used in the genitive. But if it is used in the genitive, instead of me, you can translate like I have, right? Just like in India, usually they don't have the word have or has in the ancient script. So in order to express the have or has, they use the genitive. For example, if I were to give you an English translation, if say like I have a son, right? Usually I have a son is very beautiful, right? I have a son. But if it is in Pali, then how to translate this? It means that of me, there is a son. Of me, there is a son. Okay? So I have, use in the genitives of me. Okay? Then there is a son. So the son comes to be. You see? You get the translation here. Of me, son comes to be, right? Or I have a son. So simply just I have a son. So in this case, if you look at the translation here, right? Impersonal, may, instrumental. Eva is adverb, right? Take it as an adverb. Dust. Adverb also is indeclinable. Okay, so here would be the translation. It has been heard by me, thus, right? Thus, by me. And of course, just now I said, you take the may as a genitive, then you can translate, I have heard dust. If taking the may as an adjective, okay? I think we have to understand this part, because if you read the suttas, you will come across this kind of grammar every now and then, right? Every now and then. So then, of course, I use this. I have heard thus, to make you understand easily, right? Especially we are dealing with this ancient script, right? So in ancient script, there is no expression of have or has. So instead of that, they use genitive. Of me, there is a son. Okay. Okay. Then. Now, this one also very similar. Everywhere you find like Ekang Samayang, Bhakava, Savatyang, Viharati Jetavane, Anata Pindikasa Arame. Right? So this is a very complete sentence, right? You have the verb, you have the subject, right? And of course, what else you have? And you have the locative, and the rest locative and genitive. And you have this adverb. Okay. So it's a very simple, complete sentence, right? Ekang samaya, you notice, used as an adverb like one time, or once, in this kind of meaning. And bhakava, yeah, is possessive suffix, right? Possessive suffix. You see, when I talk about the suffix, it means that there is a noun. When you add a certain possessive suffix, right? In fact, you turn that into an adjective. Of course, adjective also can be used as a noun. So in this case, this bhakava is already declined, right? Nominative singular. But you were to know what is the undeclined form or the Bhagava is a Bhagavan or Bhagavat, you see, VAT or VANT. So when you add the VANT or VAT to the Bhaga, you are talking about having fortune or possessing fortune. So you translate like fortunate one, right? And of course, nowadays people use translate Bhagava as blessed one. So I also keep that, right? Bhagava as blessed one. But it's to more correctly, translate is the fortunate one, yeah. And Savatiyam is a feminine, right? Locative, but the undeclined form, right, is from the Savati, long E here. Of course, the name of the city. Viharati, yeah, we find this Viharati all the time is in the present tense, right? It's a third person singular. And of course, we are dealing with the ancient text, you see. But why this Viharati occurred, you see, yesterday, one student asked this very interesting question, right? And my answer is very straightforward, you see, because Buddha is still with us, okay? So we are, when we are translating this, we are not translating the Buddha has passed away, as if the Buddha is still living with us, it still stay with us, right? So I find that kind of a translation is very relevant, right? Because though the Buddha passed away, but his teaching is still with us, right? So of course, when you translate, you can just translate in the present tense. But sometimes people may ask, this text already occurred 2,500, 600 years ago. Why still use the present tense? You see, you can say, the Buddha's teaching still remain and still, it's still available. You see, so as if Buddha is still existing, right? And of course, when you try to translate this, you of course you have to be careful. Okay. So you can say like was staying, was abiding, was living, right? It means that the Buddha from 2,600 years still staying until now. Okay, his teaching. And Jetavana is locative. Anatapindikasa, right, is a genitive, right? It's from Anatapindika, right? And Arame, right, is from Arama. So this may, you look at those A ending, either they are in the neuter or the masculine, right? But you look at this, something young, something young, that one is surely is a feminine, okay? So, so we try to recognize, the ending of these words. And as students of Pali, you should be able to, recognize its undeclined form, okay? When I say its undeclined, it means that before the declension, right? Before decline. Like for example, Arame is already declined. It's already in the locative. But when it is undeclined, it is from Arama, right? Arama. Yeah. Of course, nowadays people translate Arama simply as temple, right? Or monastery. But the word is better translated like the pleasure park, or delight, or pleasure, or a garden. Just like people say, a Sangha Arama, you see, it's a pleasure part of the Sangha, right? Pleasure part of Sangha. So just simply just Sangha monastery, okay? Okay, so now, okay, we look at the verb, right? Viharati, something with ati, that kind is surely a verb, right? The person. So if it is a third person, then you are expecting the subject also in the nominative singular. So the blessed one stay, right? You see, I always highlighted from what, so to keep you reminding yourself what is the undeclined form. If you don't know these forms, you don't know how to find from your declension table, right? Of course, I have a, I have this, I don't know whether you can see or not. Oh, probably. Yeah, you can see that, yeah. Oh, sorry, you can't see. Okay, anyway, cannot see. So yeah, I have a declension table, right? Declension table. Altogether, there are altogether 26 types of declension, for noun. When you talk about a noun, you're talking about the masculine, talking about the feminine, talking about the neuter, And then you have the nouns ending with a, e, u, is a or tr, you know, tar, ar form, what form, in form, you know. So I have, you know, there are such declension, you know, tables. Yeah. So once you know this, then you can refer to those tables and find out what is the, you know, the decline form. Okay. And the Savatya is a feminine, you know, Jetavana is a feminine, sorry, is locative, and Arame is a locative, and Anapindikasa is a genitive. So you see, once you have all these things, you can just translate. Okay, it's very easy. So the Blessed One, at one time or once, or on one occasion, the Blessed One was living Viharati in Savatthi, in Jetavana, right? In the monastery of Anathapindika. Okay, Anathapindika. So you see, isn't it? It's very easy, isn't it? Okay. Tatra ko bhagava bhikkhu amantesi bhikkhavoti. Right? So, of course, the tatra ko here is indeclinable. Right? Tatra means therein, right? Therein. Yeah, the Blessed One, right? You know this. Bhikkhu amantesi. Amantesi is the third person aorist, right? And this amantesi is a denominative. Denominative. And what is the meaning of denominative? This is a grammar term, right? Denominative is a verb, right? Derived from noun. Okay, it's a verb derived from noun. It means that this amantesi, you see, you can trace its noun form, right? For example, amantesi is from a and mante. This is a noun form, right? So you can turn this noun into a verb. Okay, of course you have to follow certain form here, and we, of course, you know, we are not dealing with the grammar here. If you want to know this, you have to go to the grammar part, right? But you just understand this is a denominator. Just like there is a very popular word like palayati. Pala means it's a noun, right? Noun, it means the protection. When you say protection, you want to protect, it's a verb, right? Then you just put year, palayati. So you see, originally it's a noun form, but later you change to the verb, right? Instead of protection, now become protect. So you use palayati, you say ayati, you know, you have the year there. Yeah? It's just like amantayati, something like that, right? And amantayati, this is another form, right? So here is a third person. So bhikkhavo, right here, bhikkhavo is a vocative, or monks or bhikkhus. Yeah, underline here is the subject. Okay, amantesi. Okay, so here the you're expecting subject nominated singular, right? And here the bhikkhu, right? Long u, bhikkhu is a accusative plural, right? It's an object. Okay, object plural, right? I hope you understand when I say subject, object, and verb. Okay, subject mean you see example like I go I eat rice. Okay, simple. I eat rice. I is subject. Eat is verb. Rice is object. Okay. Yeah. So the Blessed One address the monks. The monk here is an object. Okay. So usually object is in the accusative form. So therein, okay, kono meaning, but therein is for tatra, right? Tatra. The Blessed One address bhikkhu, address the monk. If you look at the sentence, you see you have the subject, verb, and object. Okay. Bhikkhavo is is a vocative, right? Ti is ending quotation. Is like saying like, "Oh monks." Okay, so this is the Blessed One address the monk. Oh monks. Okay. Next, okay, badante, ti. Okay, Bhikkhu Bhagavato Pachasosam Bhagava Itadavocha. So Bhadante iti te is a vocative plural, right? Bhadanta, Bhadante. So here is the word to address the Buddha as Bhadanta. Bhadanta, okay? And yeah, we also come across another word that is Bhante, right? Bhante is also used, Bhante. So during the times of the Buddhas, his students, disciples address him, right, as Bhante, right? Or some, and we also find in the Mahaparinibbana Suttas, the Buddha says, or after my passing away, you can address the senior monk as Bhante, okay? So nowadays, we find in our, Buddhist sanghas, when addressing the senior monks, we address them as Bhante. And of course, we do come across another word that is ayasma. Okay, ayasma. Okay, so this is also possible, right? Because the Buddha says in the Mahaparinibbana Suttas, either you use Bhante or ayasma to address the senior monk, okay? So yeah, then this Bhadante, right? Bhadante is also used, okay? But it's quite rarely used, to address a senior monk, right? Bhadante. So I think because this Bhadante is a very respectable term, right? But of course, we do find in the ancient texts, when addressed very respectable senior monks, right? You do find the Bhadante is there, okay? So what else? Yeah, talking about the ayasma, right? I think this one is also a possessive suffix. Okay, possessive suffix. It's from the ayus. When you add the mat, right? Mat, it means that one who possess life, right? Maybe ayasma, right? One who possess life. So this is the meaning. Huh? So one who possess life. So okay, so usually when we address a senior monk, out of respect, we address a monk like ayasma, it means that wishing you a long life. Okay, that kind of meaning, right? So it sounds very good. Huh? Etadavocha is for etat and avocha, right? So this etat is a demonstrative pronoun, right? This avocha is aorist, the process from what mean he said. Okay. So here is a translation. So you see the bhikkhu, right? Nominate plurally. Pachasosam. Yeah? Pachasosam is the third person plural, right? So the subject is also nominated plural. They, okay, is nominated plural, mean those, okay, they. So when you have the te bhikkhu, mean you can translate that those bhikkhus, okay? So this is a pronoun. Then here Bhagavato is a genitive. Repeat the same thing again. Yeah, either genitive or dative, okay? Yeah, so yeah, anyway, we take it as genitive. Dative also can. Yeah, genitive used in the sense of dative. Bhadante is vocative. Venerable Sir, yeah, in quotation. Those monks, right, reply, right, answer to the Blessed One. Okay, got it right? And Bhagava Itadavocha, right? I use etat and put the dashed avocha to show you that this is a compound, right? And usually in the compound, the preceding number, the members are not declined, like etat is not declined, but you have to interpret it, right? So I take it as this, right? If I interpret it, I would take it as accusative. But in this case, I need not to do anything because, they're in a compound. So, okay. Here the Bhagava is the nominated singular. So the Blessed One said this, okay? Said this. You see, I didn't analyze because they're in a compound, right? So, yeah. Mettaya bhikkhave ceto vimuttaya asavitaya bhavitaya bahulikataya yanikataya vattukataya. So these are just a different meaning. Of course, they are all in the instrument, in the feminine, right? In the feminine. Then you see it has several cases like Mettāya. You can understand from the instrumental, from the ablative, from the genitive, from the dative, from the locative. Then again, you have to look at the context. You see how you want to translate. Like yesterday, I was a bit confused because when the too many grammars are there, cases are there, then you have to find a better one to fit in, right? So yeah, but of course, in this case, I would take it like a instrument by the loving kindness. But of course, the loving kindness here, you have to elaborate a little bit, right? By the thought of loving kindness, okay? Because of course, it's vocative. Ceto vimuttiya is from ceto and vimuttiya, right? Vimutti. So vimutti is a family. Vimuttiya is here. In this case, I take it as a ablative, right? From the liberation, vimukti of the mind, ceto, right? This ceto, of course, this is a compound, right? Compound. So you want to analyze this ceto, this word is coming from cetas, okay? It's an AS ending, right? AS ending. Then, but anyway, they are in a compound, so you can take it as a genitive compound, tapurusha, from the liberation of mind. And Acivity, right? Acivity, you see, is a feminine, right? Of course, here is a past participle. Then, of course, you see, when you have what is from A by associating with, I think it's instrumental. Okay, associating with. Bhavitaya, right, is also a causative. Okay, bhavita, because the first vowel is strengthened, it's a causative strengthened, right? So bhavitaya. Yeah, because of year also, here is a causative form, right? Just like the word bhavana, is it bhavana? Bhavana is from bhavayati, right? Bhavana. So this bhavana is a causative of bhu, cause to comes to be. Of course, usually we translate bhavana as meditation, but I think more proper, this bhavana is to be translated as a cultivation, right? When you talk about something cause to be, it means that, when you said, I want to cause something, cause to be. For example, in every one of us, we have what you call this nature of loving kindness, right? We have the nature of generosity. We want to give someone, you see. We have that good virtue in us, but because of the defilements, right? All these good virtues are hidden, so-called, right? So if you want to make these good virtues to come to be, you have to make it repeatedly, cause that things to come out. Okay, so that requires a lot of effort, a lot of cultivation, so that to make that, the good virtue like generosity, loving kindness, compassion to come out. Okay, so that is bhavana. Okay, bhavana. Okay, that's why the word cultivator is this. But of course, you have to know what is original meaning. Bahuli kataya. Bahuli is from bahula and kataya. You see, this is also another form, right? We call it is compounded verb. You see, the bahula is a noun or adjective, whatever, noun or adjective. Together with kataya is from the root kru, right? Kru means to do, right? So when you have these two forms like that combining, one is noun, one is a verb, right? In fact, you are turning the whole compound into a verb. Okay? Into a verb. So you can see that this bahula, this A, when you have the followed by the kru, right? This A changed to long E. That's why you have bahuli. Okay, bahuli. So for example, like bahu means much, right? If to kata means to do much. So to do much, you see, we are talking about to make it constantly, practice, that kind of meaning. And yani kataya is from yana and kataya. You see, this is also the same thing. When you have the noun, right, yana, okay, followed by root kru, right, to do a vehicle. So you are turning the whole noun into a verb. So this is what we call the compounded verb. Okay, so this is one form. So when the noun, the last a in that noun, you know, will change to long e. That's why you have the yani kataya. Okay. Then watu kataya. Yeah, here also. But when you had ending with watu, then no need to change. You can keep it. Okay, watu kataya, by making a ground, watu, a base. Right? So you can see, you know, even to cultivate the thought of loving kindness, you need a lot of effort of different degree, like by associating with, you know, repeated cultivating, you know, constantly, you know, practicing, by making a vehicle, by making a ground or basis, right? Okay, now, yeah, we look at the first part, the translation. Okay, if I take it instrumental, right, vocative, exedo, immediate, you see. Of course, I put in bracket because we have not come to these 11 benefits are to be expected. Okay, from the delivering of my ablative by the thought of loving kindness is by this mettaya. Okay, so because 11 benefits are to be expected from the delivering of mind by the thought of loving kindness. Okay, and what are these? First is acivity. Okay, so acivity is, you take it instrumental, like by associating oneself with thought of loving kindness. Okay, associating oneself. This is asivan. It means by engaging oneself with thought of loving kindness. Right? You understand what I'm saying? By engaging oneself. Right? And bhavitaya, instrumental, by cultivating with thought of loving kindness. Okay, so cultivation, right? To come up, you know, cultivation. And bahulikataya, by constantly increasing, you know. That's why, you know, in our practice of meditation, you know, when we talk about types of defilements, right? We are talking about two types of defilement. There's the types of defilements to be abandoned by, you know, seeing, right? Seeing. And there's another types of defilements to be abandoned through repeated cultivation. Okay, so I find it very interesting because you're talking about defilement. What type of defilement that need to be repeated, cultivated? For example, it's like greed, anger, delusion, you know, even the pride also. You know, these type of defilements are very stubborn in nature. It's this, so how you want to get rid of it, right? It's not like the defilements to be abandoned by seeing, by the vipassana, you can immediately, you know, abandon it. But there are types of defilement very stubborn in nature. They need to be repeatedly cultivated. So you have to, you know, remove it degree by degree. That's why, you know, in the commentary, they talk about, you know, the anger. You know, they talk about the anger, got 9 different category, right? 9 different category. And you have, you know, very stubborn type, right? Like a strong types of defilements, right? And you had the strong middle types of defilements. You had the strong weak types of defilement. For example, you had a medium, strong, medium, low, or the low, strong, low, medium, and low types of defilement. So you end up with this 9 different categories. So you imagine this type of defilement is so stubborn that you need to abandon them, you know, bit by bit. So this is the meaning, right? Constantly increasing with thought of loving kindness. Then eventually, you see the grades of defilement will be decreased. Okay. Okay. Then yanikataya, right? By making a vehicle with thought of loving kindness. When you talk about the vehicle, I think you have to understand one thing. Like usually people say that Theravada is Hinayana, right? And then the Maha is Mahayana. They are great vehicle. We are the lesser vehicle. But I think, this Hinayana is not a very good word, so you don't use it, don't use it. So you better call Theravada or even the Southern Buddhism, okay? So when we talk about the vehicle, you are talking about the vehicle carrying one, from this shore to the other shore, right? So when you reach that shore, you have to, give up, the vehicle. So it's like, if you want to go through the other shore, you need this vehicle, right? The vehicle of loving kindness in order to cross over the stream, right? And the Vatukataya, by making a ground, right? Vatu, a ground, a basis, right? Okay. Okay, now continue. Anatitaya, Parichitaya, Susamaradhaya, Ekadasanisamsa, Patikankati, Katame, Ekadasa. So here you also find, Anatitaya is for Anatitaya. By persisting, you see, no matter how hard, you encounter, you keep, doing it, right? And Parichitaya, you have to get yourself familiarized with it. So when you just close your eyes, you see the thought of loving kindness, it already comes, you see, and you know how to radiate the loving kindness. It comes so naturally, right? And Susamaradhaya, right? Su mean well, Samaradhaya, we're establishing it, okay? Then Anisamsa, right, is advantages or benefits. Ekadasa is 11, right? Patikanka, you see this kanka? This is a future passive participle, right? Should be expected, to be expected, or might be expected. You see this kind of meaning, right? Okay, so when you talk about this participle, we have seen a lot of, three types of participle, right? We have seen the past participle, we have seen the future participle, we have seen the present participle, okay? Just bear in mind, this participle can be a noun, right? And can be of course, this noun is an adjective, but also it has a verbal function, okay? Yeah, in this case, you see the patisanka, though looks like it looks like, a verb, you see, usually in English, we never think of participle is a noun, is it? You see, you understand what I'm saying? Like, just like 11 benefits are, 11 benefits should be expected, okay? That should be expected. You see, in English, we will think, oh, this is a verb, okay? Yeah, this is a verb. But in the ancient languages like this, right, should be expected. It's just an adjective describing that benefits, 11 benefits. Okay? So it's so interesting, isn't it? Then katame is interrogative, right? Which are. So anutitaya, parichitaya, by persisting with thought of loving kindness, parichitaya, by becoming familiar, right? And by susamaradhaya, by well establishing, well undertaken with thought of loving kindness. Ekadasanisamsa, right? Patikankati. Okay? Yeah, you see, this patikanka, we have seen this is a future participle, right? Yeah, it is a noun, right? That's why you have the masculine nominative plural, adjective. You see this adjective to this noun, anisamsa. Okay, and this anisamsa is in the masculine nominative plural. And the adjective that describing also should be in the same gender, same case, and same number. And of course, the grammar here is a future participle, right? Then ekadasa is also adjective. Ekadasa anisamsa. And that's why you have the 11 advantages, right? Advantages are to be expected. Okay, this I is I added or should be expected. You see, so usually when this kind of a verb to be, is understood, right? So katame ekadasa, right? What are these 11 benefits. Okay, akatame. That's why the katame is a pronoun, and this pronoun, all pronouns are adjectives, so it's describing the noun outside. In this case, ekadasa is nominative plural. So the katame is also in the masculine nominative plural, adjective to ekadasa. So what are the 11 advantages? Okay, so it's very interesting because it says, not only when you talk about the cultivating of loving kindness, you need these 9 different qualities. Okay, now talk about 11 11 benefits. Okay, and usually these 11 benefits are applied to everything, right? For example, one who cultivates properly, usually he sleeps well, he wakes up well, he has no night dreams, you see, even loved by the human, loved by the God, even loved by the ghosts as well. And if you die, you will go to the Brahma world, you see. So these are just great advantages. So in this case, we look at it. Sukham suppati, sukham patibujjati. The sukham is accusative, right? But used as an verb already. Yes, sukham, with ease or happily, right? Suppati is from the root swap, right? Swap, sleep. The person is sleep. Patibujjati, right? From it has a root like bujj, means he wakes up. Okay. So sukham suppati. Yeah, he sleep happily. Yeah, adverb. We take it adverb, right? Or he sleep with ease. Okay. Sukham patibujjati. Right? He wakes up happily. Okay. So this sukham. So now you see this sukha. Sukha, the word original is sukha, is an adjective. But when you put ang here and make it accusative, it turns out to be adverb already, and together with instrumental. For example, like in the case of what are the example? Or if even ablative also can be used as an adverb, right? Okay, yeah. So when we come to that, I'll show you. Na papakang supinang pasati manusana piyo hoti amanusana piyo hoti. Right? Papa ke. Right? Papa. Papa is a noun. When you put a ke here, it turns into an adjective. Right? Adjective. So yeah, there are many forms. That's why I have to train you, to identify some of the ending cases. Slowly you pick up. Right? Like papa. Papa is just evil. Right? Bad. When you add this ke, that is because of the supina. Papa is a masculine, right? Masculine. When you put a ke there, you turn into a neuter gender, because this papa ke is describing the supina, which is also in the neuter gender. Supina means a dream. Okay, yeah. And pasati, is the third person, right? He sees. Manusana is from manusa. It's a dative or genitive, right? Of human beings or to human beings. Piyo, right, is a nominative singular duos. Amanusana is a negation here, non-human being. Okay, now we look at the translation. Na papakang supinang pasati. Okay, here pasati, he see. Okay, here the na, okay, is governed by pasati. He does not see, right? See what? Bad dreams. Okay, yeah, he does not see bad dream. So it's very straightforward. So you want to learn Pali, these are very good examples. But of course, you have to elaborate a little bit on what is good here, right? Yeah. But anyway, it's okay. Yeah. And manusana piyo hoti. Yeah, is piyo, nominative singular. Manusana is a dative. Hoti, right? He is dear to human being. Okay, to human being. Amanusana also same thing. Yeah. Yeah, he's a dear to non-human. And what is non-human? Many people ask me, many times. Even now also people ask me, what is non-human? Are you talking about ghost? things like that. Of course, yeah. Of course, here the non-human will refer to the beasts, animals, the hell. You see, here I refer the non-human, refer to those invisible beings, right, who live in our surrounding. For example, like Yaka, or even the earthly devas, the deities, right? Even the Nagas, right? Or even the Gandhabba, you see. So these are the what they call the earthly deities, or even the Ashura, or even some of the Preta. You see, you see when you talk about the Preta, you see they have no specific place. You see, the Preta, the hungry ghosts, they live nearby. They live in our surrounding. So these are what we call the non-human. You see, of course, like in our Theravada tradition, you see, when we have any chanting or whatever, we will invite this non-human to listen to the Buddha's teaching. You see, so non-human means we are inviting these Yaksha, Gandhabba, Yaksha, Gandhabba, Mahanag, Nagas, and what and the earthly devas. When you talk about the earthly devas, you are referring the devas in the four great kings. Okay, Sutta, 4 great kings, and you're also referring to the devas of the 33 gods, Tawatimsa. Okay, so this what we call the devas, these non-human, they live in our surrounding. You see, so when we invite these people to come, they like to listen to the Dhammas, right? So once they understand, the Dhammas, when they convince or whatever, they will come and protect the Buddha. They will eventually become Dhamma protector and protect the Buddha Sasana. Okay. So 5 already. Devata rakanti nasa agiva na asa agiva visamva satangva kamati. Okay, so the nasa, I split the Sunday is from na asa, right? Devata, right? Rakanti is a plural. Na asa. Asa here is of this, okay, of this person. Agi is a genitive, okay, here a genitive. Agi means fire. Visang means poison. Satang, weapon, okay. Then kamati, go is from the kram into go, right? When you have the na asa means does not go. That's okay. So devata rakanti, okay, the person. So devas protect him. So him is understood. Protect him. So you see, I split already. Na asa agiva visangva satangva kamati. Na asa. So when I split all the Sundays here, you can see clearly. Kamati, go. Yeah, agi, visang. So these are all the subject. What vava mean? Either this, either that. Okay. And this is a demonstrative pronouns, right? Of him, to him. Fire, right? Poison or sword, right? It should be better with or sword. Does not is because of no kamati. Does not go to him, or usually we say does not affect him, right? Or affect him not. So this is 7 benefits. Okay, 7 benefits. Okay, yeah. To him is because of asa, right? Yeah. Let's say you split out the Sunday, you can see clearly. If not, then they all join together. You don't know which one to which one. Okay. And next, tuvatang chittang samadhiyati. Is it tuvatang is also adverb, right? It's in the accusative, but use an adverb, right? Quickly, right? Quickly. Chittang is a neuter, right? Mind. Samadhiyati, right? This is a passive voice of present tense, right? Because of year here. Why? The form year. This is a passive form. So is concentrated. Is concentrated is a passive form, right? Mukha Vano is a compound right here. Mukha and Vano, like Malay word mukha, no face. Vano mean varna, mean the complexion, the beauty. So, okay, and Vipasidati, right? Vipasidati is from Vipa and Sat, right? Become serene, right? Become pleasant. Okay, so here is Chitta, right? This is the passive voice. So his mind, understood, right? His mind is quickly concentrated, right? Duatang Chitta, right? So it's quickly concentrated. So once with the thought of loving kindness, right? When he wants to meditate, he just sit down, and look at the breathing, and immediately his mind got concentrated. So it's very fast. Huh? Mukhavano vipasidati. Okay. Yeah, Mukhavano, right? His facial expression, right? Mukhavano. Okay, vipasidati becomes serene. Okay, becomes serene. That's why he has a lot of friends. Yeah, because when your facial expression is very calm, very quiet, very serene, a lot of people likes to, make friends with you. Huh? And the God also likes to come and approach you to protect you. Okay. And so you want to free from harms and danger. You see, besides meditation, right? Besides morality, meditation is also a very effective way. Okay. Okay, asamul kalang karoti utaring apativijanto brahmaloku pagohoti. Asamul right, is not confused. Right? You have not confused. Okay, or no bewilderment. Kalang karoti, right? Kalang karoti. So it's an idiomatic expression, right, for the occurrence of death, right? Karoti means he does, he does the time. So it means that he dies, huh? The time has come, right? Kalang karoti. So he dies simply. Otaring means further, right? A verb. Apati vijanto, right, is the present participle, right? It's for apati vijanto, right? It's not penetrating into. Yeah, so this is the present participle. Just now we have seen is a future participle. We have seen many times, past participle. So this is so when I want to show this is the present participle, are you penetrating this word? To show you that this is the what do you call the present participle. Okay, so not is because not here is because of apati, not penetrating into. What is the meaning of not penetrating into? You see, you are talking about, if one doesn't penetrate into the form of the truth, right? So you are talking about, if one does not, see things as there are, then you see. So here, penetrating into, you are not seeing things as they are. Okay, not into the form of the truth. I say this wow. Okay. So asamul hokalan kar is very straightforward, right? Okay. He dies. Okay. So it means that without bewilderment, he dies. Okay. Okay. Then without confusion, right? So he dies, with the mind so clear, right? And I think this is also what we are preparing for. You see, no one can escape from death. So we have to prepare ourselves, right? When one day, the time has come, okay? We don't say we die. When the time has come, we prepare ourselves. And how to prepare ourselves to make sure that your mind is aware of, okay? Is mindful and no confusion, right? So it's better, like bagus, still better if you can look at your breath, seeing in, out. This is the whole world. So, nothing's that bother you. Your breathing is very important to you. So you just focus on the breathing in, out, in, out. And then once in and then no out, then the time has come already. Okay. And then you will go to the better world, you know, go to good realms of existences. So if you have not, you know, seen the Four Noble Truth. Okay. Uttara Pativijanta Brahma Loku Pago Hoti. Let's clear the sandhi here. Okay. Yeah. If one does not penetrating further here, apativijanta. If you know one does not penetrating further, mean you know see the Four Noble Truth, right? To attain the sainthood, then Brahma Loku Upago Hoti. You see, Upago means entering, right? Into the Brahma world comes to be. So you can say there is entering or reborn in the Brahma world. If you have not seen the Four Noble Truth, for example, right? You are surely guaranteed be reborn in the Brahma realm. Okay, where is Brahma realm? It is the first realms of the Rupa Dhatu. Okay, so in the Rupa Dhatu, there are altogether 16 so-called types of blissful heaven, right? And these heavens are reserved for those who meditate. Okay, so yeah, you will enter into the Brahma realm if you have not penetrating further, right? Okay, so these are altogether 11 benefits. Okay. Okay, here repeat again. Mettai bhikkhave ceto vimuttiya asevitaya bhavitaya bahulikataya yanikataya vatukataya anuttitaya parichittaya susamaradhaya. Okay, so because 11 benefits are to be expected from the deliverance of mind by the thought of loving kindness, right? By associating oneself with thought of loving kindness, by cultivating with thought of loving kindness, by constantly increasing with thought of loving kindness, by making a vehicle with thought of loving kindness, by making a basis with thought of loving kindness, by persisting with thought of loving kindness, by becoming familiar with thought of loving kindness, and by well establishing with thought of loving kindness. So these are different qualities, okay, of your cultivation of loving kindness. You're not just like people, when people practice the loving kindness, they just read the passages, may I be well and happy. When you read it, of course, first 2 times you feel good, but as you read it, you become bored. Become boring. So that is not enough, right? So you really have to put a lot of effort, get yourself associated with the thought of loving kindness. It means that you also can associate with the good people, with the people who cultivate loving kindness. You associate with them, you see, so you also be affected, you see. So something like that, yeah? So persisting doing it. Okay, ime ekadasanisaṃsa patikankhati idama vocha bhakava atmanate bhikkhu bhakavato bhasita abhinandunti. Right, so we have seen all these things, right? Bhikkhu bhakavato bhasita, right? It's from bahas means spoken, PPP is spoken, spoken, right? So what is said? Okay, what is spoken of? Okay, abhinandunti is a third person plural, nundanti, that rejoice, attamana, right, delighted. Okay, so here the final, right, here underline is the subject, anisaṃsa is benefits, and here is a future participle, right, adjective to anisaṃsa. Okay, so you're talking about these benefits should be okay. What is it? Ime is a demonstrative pronouns. Okay. Is it also in the nominative plural? You see, So it's also adjective to anisamsa, right? It means that these benefits should be expected, right? Should be expected. You see, this benefit is also adjective. Padikangka also adjective, right? So you have to understand a bit of the Pali structures, you see. And of course, that helps you to understand better English as well, right? Ekadasa is also masculine nominative pronoun. In fact, there's no gender here. So you see, so all these things describing the anisamsa. So these 11 benefits, right, are to be expected. Okay. You see, these are to be expected. Here to be expected is a future participle or should be expected. Are is understood. Okay, understood. Idang avocha. Yeah, we have seen it. Yeah, idang avocha. Idam avocha. Idam, right? Is accusative. Bhagava, the subject here, the nominal singular. So the blessed one said this, right? But Bhagavan said this. Attamana te bhikkhu bhagavato bhasingata. You see, abhinanduntik, the present plural. Then you're expecting the subject is also nominated plural. So the bhikkhu rejoice. Okay. And te is adjective, right? Pronoun describing the bhikkhu, mean those bhikkhus. Okay. And the attamana is also adjective, nominated plural, also describing the bhikkhu. Attamana means greatly delighted, right? Those bhikkhus, or those bhikkhus, greatly delighted, right? And this is accusative object, bhasitam, what has been said, okay, by the blessed one of the blessed one, okay? So, you see, the monks, okay, those monks, in fact, I should use those monks, greatly delighted and describing, rejoice, okay, at the words of the blessed one. Okay, you see, you got it? Huh? Or you, okay, I think it's clear already. Okay, no more. Yeah, I think you all know this Angulimāla Suttas, okay, Angulimāla Paritta. And this Angulimāla Suttas is from the Majjhima Nikaya. And in this Majjhima Nikaya, Suttas 86, there is a small verse, you see, so we usually chant that part. And people ask, what is the efficacy of the Suttas? I think the Angulimāla, we all know Angulimāla, right? He's famous for what they call Anguli. Anguli means the finger, Mala means the garland, right? So, and he was enlightened by the Buddhists, right? And later become a monk. And after becoming a monk, you see, one day while he was on, his round, on his arms round, in the Savatthi, he saw a woman, right? About to deliver a child. Then, of course, he has difficulties, right? Delivering the child. Then he asked the Buddhists, right? And of course, the Buddhists later on taught him, this Angulimāla Paritta, these suttas. Then this Angulimāla later on went to this, this sister, the pregnant lady, and recite this verse. I'm going to teach you this verse, right? And then later on, after that, the lady gave birth to the child, with what they call great ease, right? So, of course, nowadays, in our Thera tradition, right, we encourage, you see, the pregnant lady, right, who is about to deliver the child, right, to recite this Angulimāla Paritta. And this sutta is found in the Angulimāla Suttas, okay? And basically the meaning is this. Here is this verse, okay? Yatoham, I think, am I clear enough? Yeah, here. Yatoham bhagini ariyaya jatiya jato na abhijanami sanchichapanam jivita varopeta. Okay, Vorapeta. So you look at the meaning, right? Yato hang is yato ahang, right? And of course, the yato is ablative but used as an adverb already, right? Ahang mean I, okay? Yato mean since, okay? Or by which, or from which time. But here used as an adverb already. So you just can simply translate that with since. Bhagini means sisters, is a vocative. Ariyaya is a locative, okay? What is vocative? What is locative? Ariyaya is from Arya, noble, right? So Jatiya is also a locative, right? From the Jati, birth, noble birth. So this is the expression, right? Jatiya, you have the Jato. So Jatiya Jato. Jato means born of Jati, right? Born of excellence. Okay, so the Jato is a PPP, right? From the root Jan, mean born or become. Okay, so born of excellence, right? Ariyaya, Jatiya, Jato. This can translate like that. And we first of all, we look at the vocabulary first. Na anajanami is na abhijanami. Abhijanami, right? From the root Nya, mean to know or to be aware. Samchitcha, right, is a gerund. Samchit chinteti, right, purposely, of intention, right, or discriminately. Samchitcha. Pana is the living beings, right, and jivita voropeta, right. Of course, this is a PPP, right. So what is the meaning? Jivita voropeta. You can just translate like deprived from life or taken from life. Okay, taken from life. You know, this is a lot of expression here. Jivita varopeta, deprived from life. Here the jivita mean is ablative, right? Varopeta is deprived from life. It means that deprive the human, deprive the beings, okay, from life. It means that you kill, you're taking the life. Okay, so yeah, I mean, this verse is not easy for a beginner, but anyway, I can't wait, is it, to share this very important verse. So once you know this, you can introduce this to any sisters who is about to deliver the child, right? Okay, now we look at the translation here. Oh, I didn't set properly. Yato ahang bhagini ariyaya jatiya jato. Okay. Na abhijanami. Oh, sorry. Okay, yeah, this part. Bhagini, all sisters. Okay, vocative, all sister. Yato, since. Okay. Ahang, I. Is it jatiya jato? I was born. Okay, I was born jato. In the noble birth, right, is a ariyaya jatiya, is a locative, right? So this ariyaya is adjective to the jati. So here my translation is very literal. Oh sisters, right? Since I was born in the noble birth. Okay, yeah. And na abhijanami sanchichapanang jivita voropeda. Na abhijanami, I do not recall. Okay, ever. Sanchicha, having intentionally, right? Voropeda means deprive. Okay, it's a PPP. Okay, PPP. Deprive a life, jivita. Oh, okay. No, I think it should be deprive the living being, the breathing being from life is better, more literally. Okay, like I do not recall ever having intentionally taken the living creatures, panang, right, accusative, from life. I hope you understand, huh? Yeah. And yeah, so this one is very important. So this is a very short verse, right? Yatohang bhagini ariyaya jatiya jato na abhijanami sanchichapanang jivita vorupeta. Oh sisters, since I was born in a noble birth, I do not recall ever having intentionally deprived a life of living being, or I do not recall ever having intentionally taking the living creatures from life. Okay. Then here another one. Tena sachena soti te hotu soti gab. Okay, gabhas or gabha is a womb, right? Tena, by this sachena, by the truth, right? Soti mean well-being, safety, blessing. Te to you, hotu imperative. May there be gabhas, you know, is dative to wombs. Here refer to baby. So tena sachena soti te hotu soti gabhas. By this truth, right? Tena sachena. Okay, tena sachena. By this truth. Soti te. Okay, hotu. May there be well-being to you, right? Te to you. Soti gabhas. May your child, okay, be well. Oh, be well. Here's soti. Okay, so here is a very brief translation, and of course this verse is not easy to digest, and of course the grammar part is not that easy to understand, but anyway I try my effort already to explain to you. All right, so at least you understand what it is, the general meaning. Of course the meaning here is very literal, and of course you can easily find the better translation from some of the great scholars, or some of the books, or some of the chanting books there. Yeah, but we are not going to the translation. Yeah, we are our purpose is to translate literally. Okay. Okay. If any question? Okay, please chant one time for us this Angulimāla Paritta. Yatohang bhagini ariyaya jatiya jato na bijanami sangchit chapanang jivita voropeta. Okay, I repeat. Yatohang bhagini ariyaya jatiya jato na bijanami sangchit jivita voropeta. Tena sachena soti te hotu soti gabhas. Tena sachena soti te hotu soti gabhas. All right. Then, if no question, I think we should stop now. Okay. So see you.